Hello, it's Uncommon Fossil here, and today I want to talk about Dialga VStar and what is the old build, the turbo build of Dialga VStar based on a Mew engine. I gotta say, I always found this deck to be a bit absurd. It really has one attacker that you're using, Dialga VStar, and you just have a 2-2 line of it. And the idea that a Pokemon that gives up 2 prizes when it's knocked out, that you're only playing 2 copies of it and you don't really want to attack with anything else is a bit crazy, but the deck actually seems to work. So it's Origin Form Dialga V-Star, 280 HP, so decent HP, kind of typical. Hopefully you're not getting one shot. It's got the Metal Blast attack for 1 energy, does 40 plus 40 more damage per metal energy attached to this Pokemon. The deck just plays basic metal, so you're just trying to build up a bunch of metal energy to do good damage, and it stacks up and builds relatively well. And then what makes the deck workable is this Chronos Star, which is V-Star power, an attack, rather than an ability here. It does 220 damage, pretty decent, and the energy cost is absurd. It's 5 energy, 4 of which are metal. Now, obviously that synergizes with Metal Blast because you want to get a lot of energy onto it. But what it does is after it does 220, it says take another turn. After this one, you skip Pokemon Checkup, and then you can't use more than 1 V-Star power in a game. So you get to attack back to back. So you do 220. Hopefully you're knocking something out, and then you're doing probably even more than 220 the following turn because you have at least 5 energy. So you're probably at least, so if you say you attach a 6 energy, that's 7 times 4, 280. So you're hopefully knocking out 2 multi-prize Pokemon back to back, and then hopefully that's enough to win or get you there to win, because it's tough to get another attacker up after this one. Everything else is really support. Crobat V, which you're familiar with, Dark Asset, draw the F6 in hand, need that to get going, 2 of those. 1 Radiant Greninja to get energy in the discard, which we want to do anyway, and it draws, so just a nice little engine card. And then it's built around the Mew engine with it from Celebrations Mysterious Tail ability. Once during your turn, if this Pokemon is in the active spot, you may look at the top 6 cards of your deck, reveal an item card you find there, put it into your hand, shuffle the other cards back into your deck. So a very good card. It's going to get hurt by the change to tool cards a little bit. The tools right now are considered items, so you could get an Air Balloon, attach it to Mew, retreat, switch into a Dialga to attack with, or another Mew to Mysterious Tail. So you're getting item cards, so the deck then uses a lot of item cards to get yourself set up. And then it plays Zacian V, which occasionally you attack with, because Brave Blade is a terrific attack. It does 230 for 3 energy. That's a better damage output than Dialga's V-Star power attack does, right? But primarily it's there for Intrepid Sword, that once during your turn you can look at the top 3 cards in your deck, attach any number of basic metal energy cards to this Pokemon, put the rest of the cards into your hand, and then your turn ends. So you're really using it ideally on turn 1 to end your turn, draw some cards into hand. You don't usually want to attack with Zacian. That's not usually the game plan with this deck, so you're not usually attaching to Zacian. So that's kind of the Pokemon setup. So energy is just basic metal, so 11 of those having a decent count because we need to get a lot of energy into hand. So key card, probably the most important card for this, is Metal Saucer. That's going to rotate coming up, but right now it's terrific. And actually on PTCGO, as long as PTCGO is around, you'll be able to use it because rotation's never happening. And tool cards are going to stay at item cards also. So that funny situation I think we're going to find ourselves in is actually going to benefit a deck like Dialga V-Star. Anyway, Metal Saucer, you attach a metal energy from the discard pile to one of your benched metal Pokemon. So you have 4 of those, and you use that to accelerate energies quickly onto Dialga V-Star. Hopefully, on turn 2, you're swinging with Dialga's V-Star power. You have some 4 nets because you want to keep switching the Mews around, and every time you scoop it up, it resets it so you can use it again besides switching. Things like trekking shoes to get cards and energies in the discard and get some cards in hand. A little mixture of supporter cards, Avery, Bird Keeper to switch and draw, Boss, Raihan to help accelerate energy once again, and Serena to boss or draw. So that's kind of the deck. So let's take a look at it in action. I think it's a It's a very solid deck. Is it a top 10 deck right now? No, probably not. But it's a good deck. It's probably close to being top 10, I would suspect. So let's jump in and see how the deck performs. You really have to set up well. As with most decks, it's a little inconsistent. And if you get to a slow start with the deck, you're in a lot of trouble. I will admit that. But the deck for me has been going at, been winning about a 60% win rate with it. So that's good for any deck. And it's good anytime you always want to start a Mew. That's the key thing. Get a Mew starting. It always feels bad, particularly to start Crobat, because then you lose the Start Gas Set ability. So obviously you don't want to bench Crobat. We'll see. We're up against Blissey. Not terrible. All right, what do I sequence-wise? I'll play Trekking Shoes first. I'm not sure if that or Mew is better. So I don't want it in hand. I want to get some metal in the discard for sure. Now I will Mysterious Tails. I get to see what I was getting there. I don't need energy. I don't have something I want to switch into, so I will do Trekking Shoes. If I had another Mew in hand, the ability to get a Mew, I might have taken the switch card, but instead Trekking Shoes. I only play 2 Dialga VStars, so I don't want to discard that because there's certainly a decent chance I can't get the other one's prized, then I can't use Dialga VStar potential for the game. So I'm going to attach to Zacian. I don't usually want to do that. I don't think I want to use Crobat because I'm not going to draw enough cards. So I'm just going to Intrepid Sword here. It's not an ideal start. I would have much preferred to accelerate to Dialga, but couldn't get a Dialga V into play. I have Dialga V in hand now, though, so it's not a terrible spot. Blissey, if they get a powerful energy attached, they will knock me out, but they did not, so I will not be knocked out. That's nice. Oh, they're gusting me, so that's not ideal. I do have Bird Keeper, though, so that's good, too. All right, I want the Dialga in play. I could try attacking with Zacian. I don't know if I want to do that, though. So how do I play this? I think I'm going to Bird Keeper into Mew. I can bump the Stadium, which is nice also. Oh, I can use Mew a second time because now I have a switch and a net. So let's see. I use Bird Keeper. I might want a Raihan next turn, right? I could Quick Ball and get another Mew into play. So I think another Mew into play. So I'm going to Quick Ball. I'll get rid of the energy because I want that for Metal Saucers, and I also would like and I can recover it with Training Court if I find I need it. So scoop up the active, promote the one on the bench, use its ability. I can use the other one too with since I still have Switch Card, which I haven't used. I'm probably not going to attack this turn. I might be able to attack with Zacian. I don't know if I'll want to. Metal Saucer, that's the card I want for sure. So now I can attack with Zacian this turn. Do I want to do that? It's not a terrible thought, is it? I want to throw down the Mew. All right, I'm going to attack with Zacian. That's not normally what I like to do, but it does have its advantages in this game, I think. So I will get the energy into hand, attach. All right, do I want to get something else into play here? I could try getting a Greninja, though, couldn't I? I can get a Greninja, so let me discard. Ooh, what do I get rid of here? I'll get rid of Ultra Ball. Get a Greninja. I have Energy Search, so I can draw an energy and use it. And I bump Path, which is necessary to do that also. I only have one Metal Saucer in deck, so that means I have 2 prized, which isn't great. So it's going to make my life very difficult, but that's what I got. So yeah, it's going to be a lot of work there. I think I want to keep the Switch card now and I'll scoop him up because now I could switch out with Zacian and attack with Zacian again next turn. So I think that, so I'll bench him and I'll Brave Blade. Don't get knockout, but obviously I have the potential to knock out next turn. So I've kind of, the normal strategy is to lean into Dialga VStar heavily, but Zacian is a good attacker, certainly. I only have one of that, and they scooped. So that worked out well. It wasn't the normal game plan, but you always have to be fluid with when you come into a deck, so into a matchup. So you have your general game plan, and then you see what you actually have. We'll jump in another game with it. So another win, certainly an atypical win. Don't attack with Zacian much, I gotta say. But one of the reasons I wanted to talk about the deck is I was kind of in a funk for a while with Pokemon, not really enjoying it. The whole situation with Live and PTCGO both being around. PT Live isn't great, but I have the new cards in Live. I don't have the new cards in PTCGO, but it works better. And I was just kind of down and not enjoying Pokemon. But I started playing Dialga this past week because I had some metal challenges. And I got to say, I enjoyed it a lot. So, so that's why I wanted to talk about the deck. I've been enjoying it, so I want to give it its due. I don't know why my opponent's taking so long to start. Usually, what to start's not this complicated of a decision. We'll see what happens here. Don't know. I have a Mew in hand, so that's good. Because I always, as I said, I always want to start Mew. There's a number of times you don't get to start Mew, and it seems like when it's not Mew starting, it seems like it's usually Crobat, I gotta say, that starts, which is obviously the last of the cards you want to start. So I want to get Metal Saucer into hand because that's very useful. All right, I have a Metal Saucer, so I think I'll take advantage of that, and I will grab a Dialga V. Let's see, I have a 2/2 there. Okay, I have all the Metal Saucers in deck. All right, so just kind of not prize checking entirely, but getting a sense of what I have there. So I will accelerate and attach, and I will pass. Leave Mew in the active because I want to use its ability next turn if possible. Probably right now I will Avery just to draw some cards. Hopefully I can get the VStar. So Comfy, which is obviously a nice card there. So up against Lost Zone, so we'll see how this goes. They certainly have a decent chance. So they have Fire Energy, so they probably play Charizard. There's not a lot of fire in format now, but obviously there's some, and that can be problematic. So they may boss me up, which isn't what I prefer to see. Although maybe they're not going to. They Colors Experiment's probably what they want because they want, if they want to hit attack with Cramorant, then they can knock out the Mew, and then I'm just dealing with. Then all I have is Dialga at that point. I don't have any energy in the discard to take advantage of Raihan. So we'll see what happens. Right now, what do they have? They have 5 in the Lost Zone now. Oh, so they did not get the knockout, so that's quite nice. So is there any supporter I would want other than Avery? I think I just want Avery, so I think I want to use Avery, so I will see what I get with that first. That's pretty nice. So I'm going to Mysterious Tales next. Don't have a choice, but that's a good one. I need to get a V-Star. I can retreat. I can accelerate more energy. It's really a nice position here that I'm in. I'm looking like... So a Raihan is a nice card, but I'm going to say no. I have a Raihan in hand. All right, that's decent. So draw. I still would really like to get the V-Star. Is there any way I can make that? I got that. What do I have for energy? I have 1 energy in the discard. So I can accelerate. I can attach. All right, I'm liking my position. We will see how long my opponent plays out the game. I'm going to evolve here, and obviously I can't use the V-Star attack, but first attack does what, 200 multiplied to 400, so that's a nice turn. Now, if they can get off a Radiant Charizard this turn, I just lose probably. They'd crush me, and I would scoop at that point. So that's a concern. I really want to get up another attacker. Having the boss here is good if they happen to play the Radiant Charizard. If they have that, they might not. They might just be playing some of the amazing rares too in the deck. That's possible too. And some of those can one-shot me. So that's, obviously I did the work. I got the energy attached on my Dialga VStar. Got it attached quickly, right? So I got to use attack turn 2. Missed the VStar attack by 1. If I really felt I had to do that, I could have scooped up the Radiant Greninja to discard, which then I could have accelerated with more energy with Metal Saucer. But I was not guaranteed to be able to actually attack with Dialga VStar, right? Because I didn't have a way to get the Mew out of the active unless I drew into it with... all right, so I'm going to just attach, and I think I'm just going to smack my opponent, and I think that's the play. So do I... Yeah. I mean, if they knock me out, I'm in a lot of trouble. So I'm just going to take 2 prizes. What should I have tried to save that? That's really the question, right? My turn again. I would really like to get another attacker powered up at this point. Do I want to try to get another V-Star going? That's a good question. I might. So let me get rid of a boss. Yeah, especially because Zacian, you can't switch attacks with it. That makes it tough to play. So I'm going to I'll Metal Saucer to another Dialga, and I just attack and see where things go. If I get knocked out, I do have Raihan, and then hopefully I can get into another. I have 1 more V-Star in deck, so it's a good situation. My opponent certainly is not in a great spot. I don't know what they play exactly. They may be able to smack my bench, punish me there. Obviously, if they can one-shot my Dialga, I am in a tough spot. How many? 5, 6, 7, 8. So they can use Mirage Gate to accelerate energy as they wish to. They play Fire Energy, and and Psychic Energy. That's all we know at this point. So we'll see. Fog Crystal, what are they going to pull with that? Sableye, not surprised there. So they need to get, 10 in the Lost Zone? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. They need 1 more in the Lost Zone to use that attack. And they can knock out the Mew, but they can obviously put damage on any of the other Pokemon, but they can only knock out the Mew. So, again, the Dialga's in a good position. I might just... I'll have to decide if it passes to me, do I want to boss up the Sableye? I'd probably just take out the Comfy. That's the engine card. But they're going to attack with Sableye here. So what do I want to do here? I'll send up the Mew. So if they don't knock it out, I can use the ability. They might knock out the Mew, which is fine also. So can I use Raihan if they knock out my Mew? I'm trying to think. It says if my Pokemon was knocked out during the last turn. It doesn't say knocked out from damage. So I try to remember if that counts as being knocked out. We'll see. We'll see what they attack, what they hit into first. Well, not hit into, but what they put damage counters on. They might want to take out the Mew since that's obviously an engine card. If I get to use Raihan, that would be a terrific situation. So I'm going to send up Dialga. We'll see what happens. Yeah, I can't use Raihan. All right, what do I want to do? Do I want to... I guess I want a Bird Keeper, and I have Air Balloon still, so I'll Bird Keeper into my Dialga. I can get out of him. I got another Mew, but I don't know if I want to give up the prizes. Actually, this is good, right? I don't think I want the Zacian in this game. And do I want... I might want the boss still, right? And I might want Raihan. I'm going to get rid of Mew. That's a bit risky, but I think I don't want to be giving up cheap prizes. Dialga V... I have the Dialga, but he's at retreat cost of 3, so I don't necessarily want that. So I want to... I could switch, or I could Air Balloon. So I'm going to Air Balloon. It gives me more options, I guess, for next turn. Attach, evolve him, and just take out the Sableye. Things are rolling. I'm not sure what exactly they're playing though, so we'll see. Probably some amazing rares. So I have another energy because right now I'm doing 80 damage, which actually takes out a Comfy. It would. So, but I guess maybe I should have left him inactive. I could have taken out my opponent's Pokemon with Dialga. So 160. This will be a little trickier for sure. So he's going to knock me out there. So I may pay the price for what I did. I have Switch. So we'll see what happens. I don't have Path. Path obviously shuts down Radiant Charizard's ability, so it needs the 5 energy. Opponent probably plays Mirage Gate, so they might be able to get the energy on with it, but it's possible they don't. So they can take a prize with Sableye against Radiant Greninja. They'll take 2 prizes here against Dialga. I want the Dialga on the bench, so I can hopefully get a Metal Saucer to it. What do I have? I only have 1 Metal Saucer left, though, so it's a little bit tricky. But, that's, yeah, so actually I can get what I need. So I have Raihan there. I want to get Metal Saucer here. I think I want to bump the state. I guess I want to bump the stadium, right? Okay, and I'm going to scoop the Radiant Greninja because therefore the Sableye doesn't knock it out. So now I'm doing a bunch of damage here. Scoop up Radiant Greninja. I'll bench the Radiant Greninja. Potentially it could get me into trouble. And I have more than enough for knockout. So 200, right? 4 energy plus the 1 is 5 times 40. 200. So they have to, win this turn or stall me. I mean, they could gust me up and Marnie me, but they're not. I'm not getting Marnied. So Radiant Charizard. So if they pull this off, I just lose the game. This is the way the deck goes too. I got rid of the Zacian. I could have kept the Zacian, but the odds of powering up the Zacian weren't good. So I've lost here. So I'm going to say well played, and I will let them take the knockout, I guess. I'll give them a minute to finish up the game here. Not a minute, but just so that's really it. At this point, unless I was going to be able to stall them, which I don't think I'm going to be able to do, they've won. So I'm just going to concede. So there you go. You see the deck. I could have kept the Zacian. I'm not sure what else I could have done. Let's jump into one more game. See how the deck, if we can get one more deck game to show the deck off. So I'm 1-1 here, right? The single prize deck isn't great for Dialga VStar because the way it's built, you have those back-to-back turns, you want to be knocking out multi-prizers then. So Lost Zone with a bunch of single prize Pokemon, it's a very good deck, but that is certainly a weak spot for the Dialga VStar. And you just have to, with every deck, you have your issues, and you just have to accept what they are. So I have a Mew to start with, so that's okay. I'm going second, which I don't prefer, but, it's okay. My opponent had to start a Luminion V. I'm sure they would have rather not done that. So that's it's good for me when they don't get the start they want. So Capture Energy, so they get to put a Pokemon into play, see what it is. All right, so Lugia VStar. So this is a matchup I kind of like. We'll see how it goes. Lugia is obviously very powerful. They potentially have a lot of attackers to choose from depending what the build is, so it could be tricky, but it's a good test for the deck. They went first, which is a big plus, and my deck does not play Path to the Peak, so that's a problem. So I guess, yeah, I guess as I talk about it and think about it, I'm in a lot of trouble here. So not liking my spot, but it is what it is. So they're getting one Archeops into the discard. We'll see when they get a second one in. They grab Dunsparce. I guess they're not sure what I'm playing. I don't know what else is playing Mew. Mew's not that big these days. That's not a card that's going to help them, so I'm glad that they played that. So I think I want Metal Saucer, because I need to start getting my Dialga set up. So Dialga, I need to discard something, a metal, and a boss. I'll keep the Raihan. I'm not sure that I'm going to have the energy that I need in the discard pile for that, though. So one. I think I'll go with Crobat. Oh, wait. Oh, my Crobat's prized. Okay, so not going to go with Crobat. So then I want Zacian to end my turn with its ability to draw some with it. So I'm going to accelerate there. I could boss something up just to be disruptive, but I don't think I want to waste the resources. So I will just Intrepid Sword here. And that's all right. We'll say it's not great. I don't have access to the VStar. Both Crobat Vs are prized, so that's a surprise, and that's not good for me because I have Quick Ball. Would love to be able to have gotten a Crobat V last turn or have the option this coming turn. All right, so they're going to knock me out with Lumineon and probably get that Lumineon V out of play, which is a good move for them. I have to. Yeah, this is awkward. They're gonna knock out my Mew. I gotta assume. Do they have? They only have one Archeops in the discard, and I'm sure they don't love. So they didn't want to just use their V-Star power for one Archeops. So that's pretty good for me. All right, so I have Avery to play, but we'll see what I get here. All right, that's good. Ultra Ball. I think I want an Avery. See what I get, because I do need pieces to try to get the knockout here. So there's no energy. I need to try to get some more energy onto this guy. So get rid of an energy. Do I want Mew or Radiant Greninja? I think I want another Mew. I'm going to scoop up the active Mew. That way it gives me the option of reusing its ability again. I have Air Balloon, so we'll see what I do here. I think Trekking Shoes, yeah, it's a toss-up between those to me. What's going to be better? I'll take another Trekking Shoes. It gives me more options. Net. Yeah, Net's good. So now I will scoop up this Mew and go back to that. Some of the turns with this deck can be long. I got to say, probably not so fun to play against all the time. And the games get longer as I just get a net so I can do it all over again, which isn't fun. Well, I've been at the other side of this type of thing, and it's not fun, right? You're just watching your opponent just go in circles for a while. But there we go. Got the Metal Saucer, which is what I was looking for. So, all right, so what do we have? 2, no energy, 1, 2. So 3, 4 times 4, 120. I don't have knockout yet, unfortunately, but what do I want to get rid of? I'm going to need the Air Balloon. I could boss. I don't know what I want to do here. That's a good question. It's a tricky one here. So I'm going to get rid of Mew. All right, that's a very risky move. Once again, I'm taking some big chances here. All right, my other VStar is prize, so that's also part of the deck too. I think I'm going to hit into the Lugia is what I'm thinking. Oh no, I already used my support this turn, but I might want to hit into it next turn. So it gives me that option, or gusting something up. So I'm going to retreat. They're probably going to be attack into me if they knock out my Dialga. Do I do that? Or do I just... the problem is I can't Metal Saucer next turn, and I probably can't. So I guess I'm just going to Zacian. I'm going to attach one energy because I think I have to attack with Zacian this game. So I'm going to make that my play. It opens up the possibility of attacking with Zacian if my Dialga VStar gets knocked out, although I probably lose in that case. So they're going to get an Archeops, I assume. They probably have a card that will discard it with the Quick Balls and the Ultra Balls. So Irida, Water Pokemon, which I guess probably would be Lumineon, but they already have that in play. So Quick Ball to get rid of the Archeops. So now they're going to use the Lugia V-Star's ability, throw the two Archeops on the bench. A Rangaroo, they could obviously helps them put something back for special energies is one of those options. We'll see what they do. They use their supporter, so unless they play cross switcher and happen to have two of them, they can't boss up my Dialga V-Star. So that's good. They're going to knock out the Mew, though. So the question becomes, what do I do here? So I have a fourth energy, so 4. So I'll do 200 damage. But that's not enough to knock this guy out. So that's a problem. He's probably going to put him back in the deck. Do they go? All right, so maybe I just... what do they have for energy here? Too powerful, so they do 220. So there's a good chance they're going to knock me out next turn. Isn't there? So this is very risky. So I think I want to take on Archeops. I guess if I'm going to win, I have to hope that they can't knock out my Lugia V-Star this turn. If they do, next turn, if they do, I lose. So, boom, 200. Not bad. They're down to 1 Archeops for the rest of the game, but I'm probably going to be... They probably can knock me out, right? They just need one more powerful energy, I think, which I got to assume the odds are they have that. The odds of them both being prized aren't good. So they have knockout now. So took a chance. You can see with some of these decks that are around today, Dialga's not in the best position. This is a tough matchup. Obviously, Yveltal just knocks out my Dialga or Zacian. So it's not a great spot. Yeah, I mean, I think that was my only hope of winning was to hope they couldn't get the knockout. Obviously, they played it well. They didn't attach a double turbo, which that would have made their life harder. I think I just scoop here, right? Yeah, I'm going to just concede. So, because they're going to knock me out next turn, I can't knock them out. They just win. Even if I bench something else, I can't attack after that. So, anyway, 3 games of the deck went 1 and 2. I've certainly... Like I said, I've been winning about 60% before this with the deck, so it's been pretty effective. And I think it's a fun deck. The sequencing within it is I find enjoyable. Although I got to say, these games I've taken, the turns have been shorter, so a lot of times the turns are longer, a lot more Mew plays and trekking shoes where you have these very long combinations. Saw a little bit of that, but not a lot. But I find it to be a fun deck. I suggest you try it out if you have the pieces and see how you like it. The deck is at least a reasonable deck to play and hopefully a fun one for you. Take care.